Hello, this is Clever, and today we're looking at the wing. We're going to start with a typing test using the Dynacap EC kit, talk about the board, disassemble it, reassemble it for MX, and do another typing test at the end. Jumping ahead, but here we have a magnetic bar that detaches, and alternate stubby feet that lower the typing angle and remove some of the resonance. All right, let's talk about the board. So, start with the back. This board has seen many different revisions. This is number 7. There might be 8 before we actually go to production. And you'll notice there are these cute little Clever feet that are custom molded with the Clever brand on there. And the bar has press fit feet as well. Whoops, yeah, you can see those. They use the same ones as the bottom. And then there are even other custom press fit feet for the stubs, which are round, kind of, sort of. They fit in flat like that. So yeah, pretty cool. This bottom is polycarbonate. It will be available in aluminum and maybe stainless steel and brass. We'll see, depending on the interest check. The idea is the polycarbonate provides more resonance, and that's what this board was designed for, so I went all in for this particular one. You can really hear it in the MX, but the resonance sounds and feels really good with EC. I prefer the aluminum bottom for MX personally, and then I have not tried a stainless steel in a while. The very first version has a stainless steel bottom, which I can show you. This is where the design started off, which is a top. The top and the bottom are connected to each other. And then you have a stainless steel bottom here, which makes it extra heavy. And this was where it started. I rather like where it ended up. Worked with several factories to try to get this to be in a decent price point. But I was sacrificing some design, and in the end I decided not to go with this approach where the bar was attached to the top. This bottom piece is a pain in the butt to take out. You have to like lift it up here, slide it out, and then there's a separate bar that compresses because you can't fit it in by sliding it. So anyway, I go into those details in a separate video. If you want, you can check it out. Look that up in my Discord. But this is where it ended up. The final version will also support HHKB, wing keyless, and wing key. And this is pretty light. If you like the polycarbonate look. The bar adds a decent amount of weight, but it's still a pretty light board overall. Yeah, it sounds and feels pretty nice. Okay, so now we're going to take it apart and put in the MX build. And one thing to note is, as we take this apart, the PCB that you see in here is not the final PCB. These are, currently I've got the EC60X in here. The one for production will be a brand new PCB by Sipulot, which will feature a hybrid PCB that has snappable corners. For reasons, there's another keyboard design that I'm working on that is similar to the Blue Ridge that needs those snappable corners. But the biggest change for the wing is that it will be pogo pin supported. So if you want to swap builds like I'm doing now, it'd be a lot easier than having to disconnect and reconnect a JST cable and then making sure that it fits into this channel here. All of that will go away. And the only thing I didn't like about this is I love how smooth this is. Like it has a nice little smooth bump. But then there's this, and it's kind of an eyesore. I really just wanted it to be pop in and super clean and symmetrical. So that's what it will be. Also, you may notice that this uses the similar gasket socks to, actually the same exact gasket socks as I used on the Phi 65. It also comes with optional gasket, pour-on gaskets that you can use instead. The blue ones are softer. These gasket socks are reversible, so you have one side to lift it up if you want your keycaps to sit a little bit lower or a little bit higher. You can have squishier feel or firmer feel. You can have both, and they're marked on the top with 3 dots or 1 dot so that you know that they are consistent. So whatever you choose, just make sure you choose the same for all of them. And we are mixing and matching. The blue is softer than the black. The blue is 10A silicone, which is super gummy, and then the black is a 30A, which might seem gummy, but it is it's pretty firm. All right, cool. So now we have this in, and we are going to connect it. So it kind of just slots right in just like that. Pretty nice and easy. And I need my JST cable. And there we go. So now we're just going to screw it all back together. And there is one screw that I am considering removing, which is this one right here. It's shorter than the rest anyway. And one thing that you'll notice when we turn the lights off is the screw. This has a nice diffused look to the light that shines through the polycarbonate, and that screw gets in the way. You can see like a little black line. So that will be gotten rid of. And I'm actually not going to put it in right now so that when we listen to the new typing test, you'll know what it sounds like. I don't think it'll make a big difference. There's no compression that it adds to the plate being right there next to the space bar. Oh, the other thing I should have pointed out when I had this open, you probably go back and pause, but you can see it through the polycarbonate. There is a cavity for the space bar right here. That has 2 purposes. One, it's like a resonance chamber for the space bar, so it gives like a poppier, fuller sound. And then the for EC, if you wanted to use a non-Dynacap set, you should have no problem using space bar flipped in the normal way. All right, so here is the MX kit with red line. And let's do a typing test. And these are HMX switches. I believe they're Sonja. I don't remember. I can put that in the video later. So that is the MX kit, and let's try it again with the stubby feet. And again, this will slightly reduce the resonance, just a wee bit. And it lowers the typing angle to around 4 degrees. And there you have it. Now we're going to turn off the lights and see what the lighting looks like. Beautiful diffused glow. And this looks so much better without the screw getting in the way. Kind of see from the side it has a really nice sort of diffused glow all the way around the board, so there's a reveal on every side, and the way the light bounces off the bar is pretty neat. And this screw cavity here that you can kind of make out won't be there in the final version since I'm going to remove it. Absolutely stunning. Of course, if you get the aluminum body or bottom, you won't have this underglow. But this is the wing.